Chair and Willock and Dykes and people like that last Saturday. You know, those people are just good championship players, and it's hurting me not having them in the squad, you know. But the boys in the squad are giving me everything. They really are, you know, and you know, making a debut last week, Aaron Drew and people like that shows where we are. But it's only going to get better, and I'm really pleased to be able to include a couple from the treatment room in this weekend squad.
Excuse the backdrop, school run.
Nice.
Just with what you're saying there about your kind of knowledge of the physio side of things, how do you kind of, because obviously there's always going to be what the sports scientists saying, what the managers want, and you've got to sort of someone meet in the middle. Is that easy for you to do? Because obviously you need some of these players back, but necessarily the sports science might say they're maybe 3 weeks away. But you can say, can you get 15 minutes out of them? Are you in that position, or are you very reliant on just what the sports scientists are saying?
No, over the years, I've realised that the experts are the experts. They're coming, you know, they're the ones who give the timelines. They're the ones who will be responsible if there's a reoccurrence or things like that. And we've got to be blunt about this. You know, we've got experts in their field. I want them to tell me about what the injuries are. I'm not going to be a manager who pushes players back. You know, if there's an FA Cup final that we're in, I'm sure that everyone would be fit and they'd all have injections and everything to play in that. But at the moment, it's really tough for some of these boys because they've had a couple of reoccurrences. They don't want to come back and redo them. So we've spoke, you know, with everyone involved and said, look, when these boys come back, I want them to stay back. I want them to stay fit, and that's you know, the aim. At Wickham, I was lucky enough to have 10 years, and you develop an unbelievable understanding with people. And I'm hoping I'm here long enough to have a great understanding, and it's almost seamless. But it is a bit chaotic coming in right now, and I think 3 managers and this disruption. There's also a new training ground, new pitches and things. There's all sorts of factors that could be contributing to these injuries, and they do happen in football. It's about us now. Making sure that the injuries don't cost us this season, finding a way to get these points on the board. And then I want to have a deeper look into things, and you know, I'm sure that the powers that be as well will be backing us to try and make availability a paramount thing, because it really has hurt us this season. And I feel for the boys who are playing sometimes, because they're out on their feet, and it's tough. We could do with some backups, and hopefully they'll be back soon.
No, Tyler Roberts, he posted on Instagram this week about how he's injured again. It's not quite worked out for him, and how disappointing he is. I mean, how have you had to put your arm around him and kind of lift him up? Because obviously it's not really gone for him since he's come down from Leeds. He's been sort of 1 step forward, 2 steps back, you know, since he arrived. Yeah,
Tyler, obviously fantastic talent and well thought of at Leeds, especially by Bielsa and people like that. You know, they thought he was going to be an ex-England player, and he's got the ability. But I've been there. I know exactly what it's like, you know, and it can be very dark. And all the people who are looking at us thinking, why is he still injured, or what's going on there? I've been there. I was a year out at Wimbledon once, and it's terrible. You feel guilty. You feel like you're not contributing. So yeah, it was really important to get into Tyler and talk to him and reassure him that this happens sometimes. And unfortunately, you know, Leeds have taken the view that they want to get him back and have a look at him as well, because it's just been going on for too long now. And it's not just at QPR, you know, he's had some issues at Leeds before as well. So it's a shame for the boy. I really hope he gets his career back on track, but injuries can be absolutely, you know, cruel in this game.
So has he gone back to Leeds permanently, or is he just there? They're looking at him. Is he likely to play again this season?
No, we're hoping that there's a chance, but we'll have to have a look at his injuries. You know, he sort of went worse than he was. He was very close, and then he seemed to take, like you say, some backward steps. And the physios here are they're obviously keeping me updated with how he's doing, and hopefully he can get back soon to this season. But I think he's going to be at the end of the season, right? One of those that's going to be right at the end rather than anytime soon. He's probably the longest term we've got, and then it is tough for him, and I just hope he can get some games in this season and get his career back on track.
Yeah, and obviously we again, I know you're not keen to kind of say who's available and who's not, but with Lyndon, it obviously wasn't an injury; it was an illness, and coming back from that, is he on track to be back this season?
Yeah, Lyndon's well on track to be back. So we're really pleased with the progress Lyndon's made, and you read into that what you want. But yeah, really happy with Lyndon. At least it's not a muscle injury, and we've made sure that extensive tests have been done on Lyndon. So you know, the little issue that he had is no longer going to be an issue, and he can play, and he's got the all clear to go. And Lyndon's very, very close, and hopefully he's going to play a huge part in the running.
All right, is he someone you've kind of had to hold back a little bit? Because I know he is someone that's always very keen to play. He doesn't miss many games, to be fair to him.
He's an Australian Scotsman, so yeah, there's a combination there that you need to hold back sometimes. He's well up for the scrap, you know, and I'm sure Lyndon would play through anything for us, and it's just about making sure that it's clinically correct for him to play, because I think Lyndon would run out on Saturday if he was able to start the game. You know, I'm not saying that he won't be involved, but he's a diamond. Yeah, his attitude's spot on. He really wants to get going and obviously turn fortunes around for this club.
With the B team, is there a chance that some of the players that will kind of play in B team matches before they're likely to be back in the first team? Is that something you're keen to like to do?
Yeah, there's definitely opportunities. Yeah, there's definitely going to be opportunities to play in that. I think it's a good idea. It's obviously, again, drip feeding them in, and but some of your bigger players like your Lyndons probably wouldn't need a B team. He's not had a muscle injury or anything, you know. That's just a clinical one, so we'll make sure that one's fine. But I think that one or two of them could feature, even if it's 45 in the B team. I think it's good to have this second team that we've got. I was there the other night against Swansea. I thought they were really good. Opened my eyes on a couple of the players as well. And but at the moment, the ones who aren't playing, the subs, if you were at the moment, they're not able to play on that, because if we picked any more injuries up, we wouldn't even be able to fill the bench, you know. And that's you know, without delving into the B team squad, and that's tough. So definitely with more players fit, there'll be a lot getting minutes in the B team. And I think it's a good concept, and I think Chris Ramsey and Paul Furlong have done really well with that, and they seem to be in a real good place at the moment. The B team, some good players in there, ones for the future for QPR, which is very encouraging.
And just last one, another player that's been out a while, Leon Balogun. Where is he on track as well?
Yeah, Leon's on track, which is good. I think Leon again he's had a couple that have sort of set him back, a couple of setbacks, which are the worst things for injuries, you know. So, but safe to say on his latest setback, which was just before I came in, actually, he's really progressing well, and again very close to being back involved, Leon. So you know, we'll treat that one as carefully as we can, because I think Rob and Jimmy really have been stretched to their limits at time, you know, at centre half. So Leon will be a key one, as well as Jake Clark-Salter. I think he's a great player as well, but probably a little bit further away from Leon at the moment. And hopefully we can get them both back for the important games coming up. More than just doing the Haka and getting them together, it was who's going to buy into this, who's going to be part of this, and what squad have I got? And it tells you a lot about people. I said to the boys the other day, I don't learn too much about when teams are winning all the time, but you learn a hell of a lot about players when you're in the bad times. And I think bringing in Bruce Simpson in, the New Zealander, was stories that Haka respect and what it stands for. But you're absolutely spot on. You know, I'm looking at who wants to be in the trenches next to me and fight and scrap and say, right, if I want you to do this, you do this, and you give it your all. It was really important, those little moments. And I think over time, the players will understand me more, and they'll know that these days are crucial. And do you know what? As well, for somebody like that to come in and tell you about this sacred thing that they do in New Zealand and how important and how powerful it is, why wouldn't you buy in 100% into that? You know, and that's my question to people. And that's what the kind of players I need. I want players to buy in, and that day in your life might never come again. You might never ever get the chance to do that again. Give it your all on that one day, and I think that's how I work. You got to seize the moment, seize the day all the time, and make the most of absolutely everything. And hopefully people will see that about me. I will give everything every single day. And if it's not good enough, it's not good enough, but there'll be never a lack of effort. So yeah, massive for me on the day of who wanted to get involved and I'll probably give them that little bit of leeway of it was the first one, but I think they know what I'm about now. And it tells you a lot about people. I said to the boys the other day, I don't learn too much about when teams are winning all the time, but you learn a hell of a lot about players when you're in the bad times. And I think bringing in Bruce Simpson in, the New Zealander, was stories that Haka respect and what it stands for. But you're absolutely spot on. You know, I'm looking at who wants to be in the trenches next to me and fight and scrap and say, right, if I want you to do this, you do this and you give it your all. It was really important, those little moments. And I think over time, the players will understand me more and they'll know that these days are crucial. And do you know what? As well, for somebody like that to come in and tell you about this sacred thing that they do in New Zealand and how important and how powerful it is, why wouldn't you buy in 100% into that? You know, and that's my question to people. And that's what the kind of players I need. I want players to buy in, and that day in your life might never come again. You might never ever get the chance to do that again. Give it your all on that one day. And I think that's how I work. You got to seize the moment, seize the day all the time, and make the most of absolutely everything. And hopefully people will see that about me. I will give everything every single day. And if it's not good enough, it's not good enough, but there'll be never a lack of effort. So yeah, massive for me on the day of who wanted to get involved and I'll probably give them that little bit of leeway of it was the first one, but I think they know what I'm about. All types. You've got your compliance, you've got your influencers, you've got your introverts, you've got your extroverts, you know, so you've got all these four types really. And we do a lot of work on how you speak to these different types and what type I am to be able to talk to like a compliant who's just going to come along with everything, who's just going to go with the flow, you know, or an influencer who wants to put his own ideas forward. You know, there's all these different types. And I think that, you know, eventually, obviously it's tough. People just want results at the moment. People just see that and they just want wins, and that's all they want at QPR. And I understand that, but it would be hollow if we didn't have some thought behind it and some real structure behind it. And that's what I am. I build, and I'll build this club back to something really special, something people can be proud of, something that people will know that what QPR means, and it's a tough place to go and a tough place to play against, and they punch well above their weight because we are still, you know, one of the small clubs in the championship. So that's what I want, but I understand where people are with results and where we are in the league and everything like that. So it's, even though I'm a builder and I want to change things long term here, I know short term I must get wins on the board, and that's really important. And that's chucking everything at Watford on Saturday, and then everything at Blackpool and everything at Birmingham, and then we can reassess for the international break.